Hello and welcome to the Hobby Network review series brought to you by Pacific Front and Freetime Hobbies. My name is Todd and I have a video review, first of hopefully many, that will give you a good idea of what's inside a kit before you want to go and purchase it. So without wasting any time, I have a kit to take a look at here. I picked this up a little while ago. And it's from our friends there in Russia, from Combrig. They cast fine resin chips. This is the HMS Tiger in 1/700 scale, turn of the century battle cruiser from 1914. So I'm not going to waste any time. We're going to rip off the top of this and find out what's inside. Let's dig into this kit and see what we got. Now I took the liberty of removing a whole bunch of these packing peanuts. Combrig is excellent at their shipping. This whole box was packed, chucked full with them. So after weeding through all the peanuts there, I find all the pieces. So I'm going to pull them out of the box here. And I'm going to start with the instructions first. We've got a 2-page instruction sheet. On one side we have the overall layout, like general plans of the ship, and it shows some rigging and stuff like that, so you get a good idea of what you want it to look like when you're done. I'm not too detailed on how to do the rigging and whatnot, but certainly it gives you the basic picture. On the other side is the instructions. On one side we have the part legends. It'll show us all the parts. There's not a lot of parts to this kit, but they are highly detailed. And we have the hull. It's the upper hull and the decks part. This is a waterline series, which means there's no hull on it, so you can lay it flat into a water scene or lay it flat just on a plinth block. We have an exploded view of the instructions, and it's pretty straightforward. It shows all the parts clearly and where they go, so you just have to find the part, identify it on the sheet, and install it. So there we have the 2-page instruction sheet. Moving forward here, we're going to look at the main structure of this kit. This is the upper hull and deck section, which is beautifully rendered. The casting on this is impeccable. You'll be seeing some of the still pictures as I go along here, and you'll see all the detail that comes out on this, on all the deck features and the decking itself. We have the 6-pound gun mounts on the side. We have the turret locations. The water break in here is done really well. It's thin so that it gives the appearance of scale very nicely. The chains even look well. I have a tendency to remove these, scrape these off, and put real chains on, but these are beautiful so that you wouldn't have to remove them. And they'll paint up nicely. All the portholes and the hawse holes, which are the anchor wells holes for the chain to come through. There's a little bit of flash left on here that needs to be sanded off, but that should come off easily. So that is the main hull section. Next out of the box we have one of the upper deck sections of the superstructure. The funnels would actually be on these spots right here. Again, there is the finely detailed decking, which will show up a lot better in the still pictures, along with the watertight doors, portholes. And this, right off the bat, I give it a shot fitting it in there, and it fits like a charm. So last big piece out of the box is the bag O parts. There's a lot of resin parts in here. So we're going to try to go through them and see what we have. And first out of here. If I push these off to the side. Another section for the superstructure. And this would go on at the on this piece right here. And then we have a turret that would sit at the front. That little notch right there actually fits right into there, and the turret fits inside of it. I'm going to move on to the funnels. There are 3 of them. Again, nice clean molds. A little bit of cleanup. You got to chop off the end, the bottom here. It's the cast block, and those will sit nicely right in their respective spots. Next little bit we got is on a flash. It's basically like a flash card is what I'm calling it. It's the resin flash. It's actually all attached into one. These pieces are the sections for the conning tower, the fighting tops. This would be the starfish, is what they call it, the starfish platform above the mast there on the lookout on the fighting tops. There's a catwalk section right here, and these right here, which are nicely detailed with the little brackets for holding it up, and that actually sits on that catwalk right there, sits on top of these 2 posts. Okay, I'm going to move forward into the turrets here. There are 4 of them. There were 4 in the package. You'll see from the stills, these are nicely detailed. You'll be able to drill out the front here if you'd like and put new barrels in, or the barrels that are supplied with the kit. Right into the holes. Fit perfectly. And I suppose you could leave them loose if you wanted to reposition them. We have the 15-inch guns. And there should be 8 of them. And I'm looking. Here we go. Okay. 2 sprue blocks right here. The casting blocks. And the bore. Now there's a slight bend to a couple of these. And to fix resin, it's pretty easy. You just get a cup of hot water. Drop them in there for a couple minutes. And they'll straighten right out. And you could drill out the end, and it would give you that depth again, so that they look real. There are a number of aftermarket parts that could be bought to replace these if you'd like. Again, that's not a must. These are nicely detailed, nicely molded, so there you have it. 15-inch guns. And then we have parts of the masts and the other stands to hold up part of the superstructures. Now, these are obviously bent, out of shape a little bit. Again, put them in a hot cup of water for a little bit. They will straighten right out, and it'd be good to go. Another little trick would be to find some brass rod or brass tubing that's similar size. You could use styrene tubing. Off with these 2 pieces right here that are attached to the casting block, and these actually hold up 2 little platforms. I believe it's on either side of the rear, the aft funnel, and you'll see on the pictures that they have the little brackets that are placed on each side, and there's a round dish-like platform, these 2 right here on either side of that starfish, and that sits up on top of them. And there'd be a searchlight, I believe, in those. This piece, which appears to be the main stand of the crane. And there's a crane just before the 3rd funnel. And then we have parts for, it looks to be like a 3-inch gun. Would be the barrel and the base. Fine details. These are tiny, tiny pieces. Tiny pieces. And again, this almost looks like a 30mm, I believe. Could be a 30mm gun mount and barrel. Again, the barrel's got a slight hook to it. So just heat that up in some water and she'll straighten right out. one more superstructure part that I found. This will fit right at the end of that secondary deck. This next casting block I pulled out are the 6-inch guns. These are the barrels that will go on the side of the ship right here. And you should just glue them right on. It's just a barrel that sticks out. And again, they are tiny. You have another casting block with capstans. Now, these are used to draw up the anchors or the large ropes for when she's docked. There's little indentations all the way around them, and those mount up front. I know that 3 of them at least go up front here on the ship, right there in those holes. I believe the 4th one actually goes right there. Okay, we have, these are davits, which are, davits, davits, however you choose to pronounce it. And these are, you've seen these off the side of the ship. They lower the launches into the water. Again, pretty good shape, a lot of detail to them, but you may want to just pop those into a cup of water, straighten them out. Now I have a piece here that a couple fell off in the bag, and I do still have them. And these will be the searchlights and the pedestals for the searchlights. There's a lot of individual little pieces here. And we have some anchors. Ship had 3 anchors. Molded very nice. Just remove them from the cast block, a little cleanup. They should fit right in those holes. We have this odd casting block, and if we get a good still shot, these are the stands for all the launches, the different craft that they have on here for life safety and transporting people to shore and whatnot. Last but not least, we have all the launches. And these are really nicely molded. You'll see in the stills that there's a lot of fine details to these, the internal ribbing and whatnot. There are several of them. These old ships had many launches on them. So there you have it. The HMS Tiger from Combrig. So there you have it, my in-the-box review of Combrig's 1/700 scale HMS Tiger. Okay, as I stated before, she is a beautiful kit. If you're into resin kits, then this might be the way to go. Cost and detail-wise, spot on. Combrig is exclusively sold in the United States through Free Time Hobbies, Pacific Front. So if you're looking and you're in the United States and you're looking to get one, this is the way to go. Head on over there and take a look. Combrig makes hundreds of ship models, 1/700 scale and 1/350th scale. So, and they're all highly detailed as far as what I can tell. A lot of the 1/350th scale have photo etching inside the box. A lot of the 700 scale do not. So you will have to purchase some sort of AM part if you wish. There is a specific kit that is made to upgrade this, and it's from Artist Hobby, and I was fortunate enough to get one. And in here there is actually hundreds, if not thousands of pieces, literally. That will upgrade everything on that ship beautifully. Barrels, portholes, railings, everything. I will have a review of this soon here on the Hobby Network. It's Artist Hobby's HMS Tiger in World War I, 1914 to 1918. Now this does accompany this specific kit. So with that, I want to thank the folks from Combrig for the review sample. I'd like to thank the folks from Free Time Hobby for the opportunity to be able to make this video, and I hope to see you soon on another video review here on the Hobby Network Video Review Series.